The Hotness Unleasher Show is about to start. This is the countdown. Let's go. We have some great guests today. Season 3, Episode 8. Hello. Oh my goodness. Special time for friends across the pond and others who, like to get up early for weird reasons. I don't know why. Trevor, you're looking so hot, buddy.
Auto sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Welcome. Today is what? November 11th. It is Veterans Day in the United States. It is 7:45 a.m. Pacific time, and we are going early because we have Ashleigh and Kerry in the house who are not in the continental United States, and so in deference to their, normal sort of normalized sleep schedules, we're going a little early, we're going a little off schedule, and we just want to acknowledge that anybody who comes out today, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Hotness Unleasher Show. You have made it to the right place, okay? And the point of this show is to pay attention to other people or their work in an intentional way. Sometimes it's a little harder to do that, and we have to kind of be intentional about our intention, and that's the point of today's show, right? We're just going to try to get out of ourselves and get into doing things that we're used to doing, that we've always done, that we want to continue to grow, and we want to acknowledge all the awesomeness that is around us, particularly out here in these LinkedIn streets. So if we have anybody who has shown up today for us, leave a comment, please. Say hello, say where you're from, give us a hard time, ask a question, do all of that good stuff. So we're going to be actually playing a little bit with some of the show today. So we're going to say, look, we've got some, we're going to, let me just slow down. All right. I actually had an extra cup of coffee today. So that happened. And so I'm just a little bit up. And so I'm going to say, Jamie, thanks for coming out. And Melissa, thanks for coming out as well. And I know that you have had a lot. So Melissa has had a lot going on. All right. And out of the norm, that she has really suffered through some serious loss in her life and of people close to her. And I want to acknowledge that. And I want to acknowledge that, Melissa and I are good friends. We live in the same town. And so those losses are real and are felt deeply. So Melissa, best to you. And as you move through this, the coming days, months, and years as we go forward. So with that, we are still here today together. Let's see, the 6 of us are here, and Melissa as well, and Jamie. We have a plan. All right. So what's going to happen is that we're going to have a little conversation. I'm going to stop this part of the show. I'm going to pass the baton. We're going to learn a little bit about what Leanne and Ashleigh and Kerry and Peter are all up to. We're going to hear a little bit from Elijah as well. Okay. Because, we want to acknowledge what his role is here and what important part he is playing in making this Hotness Unleasher Show come together. And then we're going to have a little gap. Right, we're going to play around with that a little bit. Right, we're going to see if we can fill in some blanks, have a little topical conversation, and then we're going to move into the Hotness Unleasher component, where everybody is going to talk about some folks who are awesome. All right, and pay attention to those folks and what they're bringing to LinkedIn and to our guests specifically. And your job, audience, is to tag those people when they get announced, right? Because what's going to happen then is that their notifications are going to light up and they're going to feel really great. And they're going to wonder about what happened and why they're being called out and all this other good stuff. So with that, I want to say, again, welcome to the show. It is, bright and early on a Monday morning, and we need to continue just to get after it. Rolling over and going back to bed and sucking that binky that's an option, but it doesn't work for very long, right? At some point, you have to get up and get out and get after it. And so that's what we're doing right now, right here. Becky Endicott, thank you for coming out today. Thank you for leaving a comment. Please continue just to heckle and jabber and say more stuff. And yes, Peter Wiedeler is such a brilliant marketer for good. Oh, and it was his birthday a couple days ago. So we've got that happening. And it
was your birthday a couple days ago. It was my birthday yesterday.
Yes. But guess what? Yeah. So yours is yesterday, but apparently you announced it on LinkedIn.
Who did?
Apparently you did. You haven't taken the birthday the birthday notice out of the Okay, so all right, so if you've been around LinkedIn for a minute, you know that if you leave, hello Melanie, if you leave your birthday as a public, everybody knows, and then you get 50,000 DMs, which is lovely. It's nice, you get that, but it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot to handle. And it's a
lot of the same ones. That's what always makes me laugh is I'll get like 15 in a row that are literally congratulations on your birthday.
Yeah.
Like it's the exact same message every single time.
Yeah. And so there's a few of us who have taken that out. We've removed that. And so the pain that you're having to, and it's not that they don't mean well, but there's just a lot of kind of automation happening and a lot of just, sort of trigger stuff happening. So that, yes, it was my birthday on what, Saturday, and yours was yesterday, and Kerry's is coming as well. So, we've got that happening. And yeah, so I want to say, like, this is birthday central today, right? Yes. Get 50,000 DM. Okay. Maybe that was hyperbole. Thank you for pointing that out, sir. It may have been 50,000 would be excessive. Let's say 50. Okay. Maybe more, maybe a few more, maybe closer to 100, maybe 110, 100, 120, something like that, is not out of the question. 50,000 is hyperbole. And I actually, at some point, recently I was trying to stop, using that kind of language. So I thank you for pointing that out. We'll try to move on from. Okay. So let's transition. I want to hear from you guys, right? I'm going to start with, since you're in the upper left, Leanne, let's go with you first. Lay it on us. What's cooking for you? What's happening in your world? Where are you? What are you doing?
Oh my goodness. Good morning. So I am Leanne. I am based in Torrance, California, which is right underneath LA. True LA people shun me because I'm in the beach cities. So I'm not the cool LA. I am working on so many things. I have my own podcast, which you can see, a lovely portfolio of guests on your screen. And so that's Markegy, the science of marketing strategy. My top priority, I would say, at 8 a.m. on Veterans Day is just kind of, it's saving space for that and drinking coffee. Don't want to sell myself short, but those are the things that you can always count on is the coffee.
Okay. All right. So now how long have you been doing the podcast?
About 2 years.
Okay. So you must be up to like, a few episodes at least. Are you keeping track?
I am at close to, I'm almost at 55. I'm just shy at 53.
So you made it past the 8,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I ran a solo podcast once and I only made it to 8 and I quit. And so I have to do this live stuff because it's really the only way that I can actually perpetuate anything. And then it almost died again, but then Elijah showed up, right? And Elijah was like, "Nah, bro, you got to keep going." So we're here and we're continuing to do this thing. So 53 or 55 ish. And I want to say I was a guest on your show, a little while back. And I want to call out too that you're a great host, right? Because you ask really good questions and you kind of cornered me into something that I was trying to make a claim about that I didn't really have a lot of data on. It was more kind of intuitive and sort of was kind of like, we're just going to kind of shimmy through this thing. And I had to sort of stop, I had to slow down and I had to like really kind of think about and be accountable to what I was saying. So I want to, I just want to put that out there that that's how we get better, right? We take a moment to really look at, is this true, right? Is this actual, is it data backed? Is it more than just your idea out of the blue? So with that, Leanne, keep going, right? Keep doing that thing. I think that this kind of an interface where we actually have 2 or more or 5 or 7 people or whatever hanging out together for a minute live is awesome. And then podcasting is also awesome, right? And we can convey, some truth and really kind of get into analysis. So now the job market, right? So let's talk about that for a minute before we move on. So what's happening there? What's your read on that?
Well, my read on the job market as a whole is still a lot of uncertainty. How it personally impacts me is also a lot of uncertainty. I am looking for my next role and verticals that impact well-being, whether that's education or physical well-being, as a marketing leader of sorts, as well as an individual contributor. So now, Kerry and I have discussed the marketing job market or just the general job market on a global scale. And I wish I had something powerful and insightful to say today about my prediction for that. I think that I would like to see more data, per just not saying stuff to say stuff. I don't know. I think that, um, you know, the thing that we do have control over is showing up and smiling and, just telling our stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming out this morning. You're the best. Okay. All right. So thank you, Leanne. All right. Let's move over to Ashleigh, because you are next on my old screen here.
Woo!
What is cooking in your world? Where are you exactly for the betterment of our listening audience here?
Yeah, for those who don't follow me, why? I'm delightful. No, I'm totally kidding. Yeah, so for those who don't know me, my name is Ashleigh Early. I am a fractional head of sales, as well as the director of revenue optimization with Rev Optics, which is a spinoff from Scaled Consulting, if you're familiar with them. So we basically built a platform and a tool that's helping people get the most out of their outreach and SalesLoft instances, which I'm super excited about. So if you're on a team and you're using that, hit me up. There's a lot of stuff you're probably leaving behind that we can be helping you with. And we've got some fun entry-level stuff there, so it's not some giant project. But I also spend a lot of my time doing fractional sales leadership. So companies that are just moving from founder-led sales, trying to build the sales process, focusing on building something that is sustainable, but also that is realistic and true to the company values. So I work with a lot of founders that are very value-led versus very let's raise the next round led. And helping them figure out how to do that in the best way possible. Also, you can hear from my accent and my speed of talking. I am from the United States, but I actually moved to the Netherlands 3 years ago. So I live abroad. I did not marry out. So if you're looking to potentially live abroad for a few years, hit me up. I can tell you what our experience was like and some of the programs that I know about that are available in Europe.
Well, there's a lot going on. So I want to unpack a couple things, Ashleigh. So first off, I have enjoyed immensely kind of going back and forth a little bit, because you and I don't always see eye to eye on all the sales stuff, right? So I'm an old salty old individual contributor seller guy, and I have my own set of experiences that shape my worldview around how to get things done, and we kind of push back a little bit from time to time. Yeah. So I have enjoyed that interchange with you, and I think this optimizing SalesLoft and outreach, or how you put it, making those tools work really, really well. I mean, I use outreach in my day job, and I've been using it for a really long time, and my use has evolved significantly over time in terms of what I do with it and how I use it every day, and what kind of visualization is more of sort of what it's doing for me right now. It's less about running kind of cold sequences and stuff like that, even though it's perfectly capable of that. So it's I find it to be a valuable tool, and but maybe just not in the typical kind of let's set up some drip sequences that
totally.
Yeah.
And this is the thing too, is that I'm going to go full nerd here. And it's one of those with great power comes great responsibility things.
Okay.
Right? Let's go Spider-Man and actually be real with it. But that's really what it is. It's a powerful tool. These are all powerful tools. And a lot of people don't use them very smartly, and they end up burning themselves. But then they don't realize it because they just move on and run the same process later, and then blame the new company. And I'll say this too, like, that's the thing. There's an interesting notion in the sales world. I'm with you. I'm old and salty too. We're just salty in different ways. Like, we're different flavors of salty.
Fair.
Our work trauma is different. But what we spend most of our time on, especially with Rev Optics, is it's more about helping people to understand what the tool can actually do and what the best way is to use the tool for your situation. And you're right, 90% of the time it's not to run big spray and pray campaigns, because shocker, they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's about, okay, what can we tailor? How can we segment things better? How can we be smarter? Or do we have the right people in seat to actually be writing content? Do we need to be outsourcing that? How are people doing with their various individual sales skills? Do they know how to respond to objections? Do they understand how to organize and understand? Talk about visualization. That's one of the biggest things these tools are great for, is making sure people understand everything that needs to happen in a day, right? Versus just having it all in a task list. I mean, I grew up in the days of having, I got a one-off permission at one of my first companies when I was an SDR. I was the only SDR in the company that was allowed to create my own campaigns, because that was the only way I could stay organized. I'd create Salesforce campaigns for everything I was doing. And then I could segment my tasks by what campaign they were associated with. So,
Okay. I mean, that sounds really like you were on top of it. And now you have leveraged that into a freelance, work from Amsterdam kind of thing. No. Okay. So you did say the Netherlands. Did I missed where you said you are there actually?
I didn't. And I didn't, because the town I live in is one that's kind of only known in the Netherlands. I live in a town called Leiden. It's lovely. It's about 10. There we go. So it's about 10 minutes north of The Hague, 30 minutes south of Amsterdam. And I've definitely turned into one of those people who I describe it, because it's like, if you hear someone lives in Massachusetts, people always assume you're from Boston.
Yeah.
And then if you're not from Boston, you're like, no, how dare you associate me with those people? I've turned into that. People are like, oh, you live in Amsterdam. No, I do not. How dare you?
Okay.
I cannot. It's too crowded. There are too many people. The Amsterdammers are their own kind of special. We love them, especially when they stay in Amsterdam. The rest of the country is a whole other kettle of fish.
It's been a long time since I've actually been like in Holland and cruising around and hanging out. I have family there, and my name is Dutch, and
I was gonna say,
yeah, I get that, and we're gonna have to move on here, otherwise we're just gonna run out of time. But I want to just say one quick thing, and that is that the Amsterdam airport is ridiculous.
Oh, I love Schiphol. And I'm a huge aviation geek. I love Schiphol.
Okay. Well, the fact is, we were traveling home from a European vacation this summer through that airport, and it was over a mile that we had to run from gate to gate to get.
They put you. Yeah, you had to do the extreme. So yeah, that I've had to do the same thing at LAX though.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's the third biggest airport in Europe. It's fine.
Okay, it's pretty dang big. A lot bigger than the Florence airport, which is a complete joke, and I don't recommend ever flying out of ever.
No, just go out of Fiumicino
or somewhere else. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, don't fly out of Florence. Okay, get a train to some other cool place and call it a day. Okay, all right. Now we have to move on. So Kerry, you are up, my friend. Hey. What is cooking in your world?
Yeah, so I CEO of MKG Marketing, a digital marketing agency. And last few years, I sort of stepped into more of a fractional marketing leader role. I'm very thoughtful to not call myself a CMO. I am not CMO. I worked with generally smaller businesses who don't have the capacity to really bring on full teams. And I'm also big on the actual doing of stuff. So I sort of developed the strategy of how to get after it for their business. And then I actually just get going and just get done as much as I can, and then bring in people that are experts in areas that I'm not, like email marketing and digital ads and those sort of things. And so that's been a ton of fun. It's been really nice to like get back into the work. When you're running a business, you sort of lose sight of what it was, so why you got started in running the business to begin with. And it's just been really nice to be more strategic and think about companies and how to help them scale. And it's been just a ton of fun. So that's what I've been working on.
Okay. Yeah. So, but you're doing it from Guernsey. All right.
Hey,
So
I'm doing it from Guernsey.
for the benefit of our listening audience today, including Jamie, and I saw Amber was here, Melanie Richards, right? So want to make sure we don't miss anybody. Anthony Taylor, who called me out for using hyperbole. Becky, Guernsey. Okay, what's that about? Where's that? I mean, what huh?
So Guernsey is a tiny, tiny, tiny island. If you go to maps and you look it up, you're going to be scrolling till you zoom in. It's an island in the Channel between England and France. It's closer to France, so all the names of the streets are French, but it's pronounced with a British accent.
Gotcha.
So
okay, so
Guernsey's
so
its
confusing.
own country. Yeah, Guernsey's its own country, but it sort of acknowledges the monarchy of England, and England protects the Channel Islands because it's a big important thing to
do.
You know, when you think about wars and things. So
yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
So Guernsey's its own country. Okay, I don't think I knew that. I think okay. So all right, so you got your own little micro country. You're living there. You're raising a couple kids.
I'm married out.
You're married out. All right, so that's so. But you're from, if I recall correctly, you're from the East Coast, Pennsylvania, or
Really?
somewhere. Okay,
Yep.
Philadelphia. Okay, great. And you and I are planning to see each other in real life here in a month, right, or less, actually. So at the Cybersecurity Marketing Society meetup in Philadelphia in early December 7th. Okay, so I've still got to get my plans finalized for that, but that's actually happening. So finally, that's cool. Let's see, where else are we? So there was some other thing I wanted to bring up. If I remember, I'll come back to it. But we are seriously we're going to run out of time. So, Kerry, thank you for coming out today. All right, Peter, you are up, my friend.
Kill your clock then, because we're running out of time. So, Peter, St. Louis, Missouri. Happy to be back. Becky called me out on it, but I'm happy to be back in social impact. I'm running growth for a education technology firm focused on student success called Vivi, and that's at vivi.io. So there we go. 7 characters. You can't beat that. That's really nice. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I've met you in person.
Yes, you have. Yes, at RSAC last May, where I found San Francisco to be a fantastic world-class city. You know, the experience that I had there, you know, you and I got to go out for breakfast and hang out in top tier behind the velvet rope hotels. And, you know, I walked freely around the city and, you know, after dark, believe it or not. And I know it was amazing. The weather was perfect. It was like, I don't know, 71 degrees, no humidity, blue skies. No, like I was never accosted or felt threatened or anything. And not for lack of being exposed to, you know, everything that you know, that city has to offer. So, you know, there's certain narratives saying that San Francisco is something other than amazing. And okay, every big city has issues, but San Francisco is a fantastic world-class city, and it was awesome to hang out with you there, man. I mean, that velvet rope experience was formative. So for everybody who wants to know, I have never had a chance to hang out behind a velvet rope at the W in San Francisco. And Peter and I got to do that for several hours at RSAC and you know, really connect. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to having a chance to do that again. All right. So now you're fairly new in this role, right, Peter? So anything that you can see coming down the pike for it in 2025 in terms of growth and
yeah, I mean, we've got a couple great product releases. It's one core suite of product. It's weird to say, but we've got different ways of approaching PLG. I'm loving the experimentation and focus on that. We're really leaning into teachers right now with a Vivi for Teachers product, and then expanding into different types of free trial mechanisms. So yeah. I guess if we're on a B2B platform, I can talk B2B SaaS style stuff.
You could talk that stuff.
That's what we're doing. Yeah. So I'm really getting to do PLG for real now, and not just demand gen glamorized as PLG.
Okay.
That's
great. All right. Fair enough, man. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming out. I know that now you get the day off today officially, right? Because it's your
no. I'm, I've been severely ill, so I'm playing catch up today.
Okay.
That's
Well,
why I seem slightly distracted.
Your color looks pretty good. I mean, I know you've been, you look okay.
I've got 3 key lights on, buddy.
Okay. All right. You have
3 key lights, temperature settings. Yeah.
Looks
Okay.
good.
My posture where I'm at. Yeah.
All right. We only need you for another 20 minutes. All right. So now we're going to, and then you can, go horizontal again. Thank you for coming out. I know it's been a tough few weeks here for you as you've navigated some of those things. All right. Elijah, sir.
Hello.
You have made yourself a commercial.
It is now time. I finally did.
It is now time for you to play your commercial because everybody, Elijah has been producing this show now for what, a couple months?
2 years, right?
2 years, at least 2 years.
It feels like 2 years. 3
and
months.
It has made my life so much better. So
Thank
with
goodness.
that, we're going to take some time to promote Elijah's business right as soon as he pushes the button.
Fine. I'm Elijah. From serious to silly, I'm your podcast sidekick. On a mission to push my creative muscle, I reached a Trevor not too long ago. He was in a creative funk at the time. Hotness Show, he said, was all over the place. Felt like something was missing. He felt like he really, truly wasn't connected to his guests and his fans. So I offered to add some creative pizzazz, and he said, let's go for it. Oh my. Mia, thank you so much for coordinating this connection.
Flight control, countdown confirmed.
That was so hot. Video editing, guest management, creative brainstorming, show direction, audience engagement, really just making sure that all Trevor has to do is just show up and talk. Jump on a call sometimes for 10 minutes a week and rapid fire ideas, and all he has to do is say, make it happen. I love taking people from meh to magic. Feeling confident about what they're creating again. Trevor, next year, this Hotness Show is going to be off the chain, right? I'm creating a podcast movement over at yourpodcastsidekick.com, so feel free to join me. Subscribe for free. We can make some magic together. Feel free to DM me and set up a time to chat. Trevor, sounds like a hot connection.
All right, man. And that's what it's all about. It's about supporting each other. And I want to, again, say thank you so much because, yes, from a technical implementation standpoint, from a like making my life better and easier in terms of how do I continue to find the energy to put all the pieces together. Getting help has been tremendously I can't even begin to say. So yes, we have big plans, Elijah. We're going to make some stuff happen. And, I have, it's creating a lot more freedom to innovate and to do experiments. So speaking of experiments, we have a couple minutes. We're going to take a couple minutes and we want to run we're going to run the StreamYard giveaway. Okay. So what I want anybody to do is to put in pound thus, right? And if you are what are we giving away? We're giving something away, right? So officially, I don't know how many folks we have in the audience right now, but if we have anybody in the audience who wants to be a guest on an upcoming episode of the Hotness Unleasher Show, please put in pound thus into the comments, right? And that's how this thing works. And so we're just going to continue to yap a little bit about that. So if you're on this show, then obviously no, right? But if you're, let's say, okay, so Jamie, thank you very much. You get it. So put in pound thus, and now you're automatically eligible to be a guest on an upcoming show. Okay, great. So we're going to give that away because it's one of the hard things is actually finding another group, right? And so the way that we're kind of rolling with the kind of the layout of who's going to be on the show is people reach out to me. So in a week, I'm going to have Mark Bliss, who has arranged his own group. And did I say, yeah, so I think you did it right, Elijah. All right. So, and that's because he reached out. He said, hey, I want to be on the show. What do I got to do to make that happen? I said, well, A, you got to ask. And then B, you got to help find some other folks. So he did, right? So he's got 2 other guests that are going to be with him. So we'll be here. Well, not at this hour, but later on. So any case, let's fool around. Let's see if this works. So we're gonna mess around with this. And if nobody wants to be a guest, well, then I guess maybe we'll just have to do it the old fashioned way. But alas, if we get any more than one, or if Jamie Yates is just going to be it, then Jamie Yates, you're going to get a call because you did the thing.
Oh no! Whatever will she do?
Yeah, whatever will she do? All right, so we're gonna make that happen. So thank you, Ashleigh, for chiming in there. All right, this also gives us a space to go ahead and maybe give some things some actual like cool stuff, right? If you don't want to be a guest, that's okay, fine. But maybe we could give away, like if somebody had a consulting hour they wanted to do, or maybe a PLG offer they wanted to promote, or maybe they're a coach and they're looking to, I don't know, promote their coaching service or their fractional offer. Maybe they've got kind of an intro sort of, something that they want to throw out there, or maybe some, I don't know, gift cards or something. Okay. So, with that, so we're going to go ahead and because we really are very, very short on time, we need to get to the point of the show. So, Elijah, can you run the giveaway, thing? Because we're in our experimental mode still. Can you do that? Can you push that button, even though we only have like 2 entries? I see. Draw. Okay, there we go. Okay. And it's gonna be Jamie. Yay, okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so Jamie, I will be calling you to talk about what it means to be a guest on the show and how to make that happen. Thank you so much for participating in our very, very limited exposure event. Okay, with that, we are moving on to the core of the show. Elijah, I love what you're doing with the layouts right now. It's really great. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the Hotness Unleasher section. So everybody that we're going to talk about right now is going to be announced, and they have been handpicked by our panel of guests on an individual basis. All right. So, and Elijah has done some creative introductions for them. So are you ready, Elijah?
Let's do it.
All right, let's make it happen. Go.
This #1 mom takes recruiting, job search. Lauren is disrupting the recruiting space one selfie at a time. I mean, she's been on that Reddit thing like 100 times by now. Good for her. Hotness! This #1 mom takes recruiting, job search, and self-brand to a whole new level. She is live every Friday, joined by experts who help you level up your sales game. So if you're not afraid of the real talk from this queen of recruiting, you best connect with Lauren right now. Ashleigh, what else do you want to share about this hot connection?
The biggest thing about Lauren is, one, her content's fantastic. She's a voice of sanity in my day, every day. And she's one of the few people who you get the sense like, oh my gosh, I really want to meet her. She seems awesome. And then you meet her and you're like, oh my gosh, you actually are awesome. So she's fabulous. I've seen her move mountains and bend over backwards to get people hired and make sure that all happens. But she's also just an awesome person. And she's just the hotness. I'm going to call her that from now on. But
Ashleigh, I'm thrilled that you brought Lauren back out today, because she has been a guest. She was actually a guest in the first episode of the Hotness Unleasher Show this season. So, and believe it or not, Lauren and I have actually met in person.
Jealous.
So that's happened. She and I met down in Boca. I don't know, at some point. It was a year-ish. I mean, I can't remember. It was a while ago. But in any case, we had a little coffee, and yeah, man. I mean, her energy is just is like level 11. All right. I mean, it's up there, and she is moving, and she does a lot of really great stuff. The thing, my experience with Lauren is her accessibility.
Yeah.
Right. Like you reach out to her and she responds, and a lot of people don't. And I do really thoroughly enjoy that about her.
No, I had a really good friend who was in a tough spot, trying to figure out, do I leave? Do I stay kind of with their role? And I was like, you need to go talk to Lauren. And I just did a quick intro. I was like, I vouch for my friend's skills. I vouch for Lauren and her assessment of the market and kind of what to do and stuff like that. And both of them came back to me and were like, she was right there. She's like, I'm slammed today, but let's find some time really quick. So she's so good about setting expectations too. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to respond to you right this freaking second, but it's like, hey, here's what's happening, but I've got you.
Yeah.
Everything.
And she's also, inspirational in terms of to me and to this show, right? Because she is a live streamer. She has been dedicated to running her show every Friday, and she's got like many episodes. I've lost count, and continues to invest in that, and is really kind of leading. I think is a real leader in this, emerged as a leader in terms of what a steady live stream show can really look like. So I do look to her a lot. So thank you so much for bringing her. And, Lauren, as you know, you are a part of this community, whether, because we just keep pulling you back, in. So Ashleigh, thanks for highlighting her. All right. So Elijah, you ready for our next Hotness Unleasher of the day?
I don't know if I should tell you this, Leanne, but I think we're all a little unhinged. Wouldn't you agree? It's a little bit. Hotness! Teresa's a weird history buff, and she shares her oddities through her history podcast because it's unhinged too. She loves a good cup of bean juice, and she's looking for opportunities in growth marketing or demand gen. So if you know someone, tag her, and they should connect with her, like now. So Leanne, what other weird facts do you know about Teresa? It'll be our secret.
Well, I love Teresa. I think that Teresa is just a phenomenal human being. And so although she loves weird history, I love her communication style, her in-depth expertise, and just how she shows up as a friend. There's so many good things to say about Teresa, and I really am not going to be able to do it justice, but this is my attempt. And so Teresa is supportive, and she gives you the feedback that you need to be successful tactfully, with, a caring, manner. And honestly, she's so stinking smart, and she just does things so well. I love watching her just exist in the world, honestly.
Where did you guys meet? Where did this emerge?
I think we met through a Slack channel called Revenue Operators. And so I want to say that that's how we first connected. But, marketing and tech marketing being the small circle that it is, I have no doubt that we're in no less than 5 Slack channels together. So yeah, that's how we met. We met like maybe a couple years ago through that first Revenue Operators by Juan Escobar. And so we've just kind of like got in touch, and we've had some similar experiences. And she's someone that I know that is very dependable. And if I hit her up and I'm like, hey, can you do a mock interview with me? She'll be like, yeah, here's my calendar. What time? So she's very generous.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it looks like she's open to work right now too. Do you know what she's looking for?
Yeah, she is looking for a director of growth marketing role in tech. She has like me a wide variety of experience. I want to say that she's strongest in that true growth marketing component. So I would put her in like a health tech or an ed tech, or even some consumer goods.
Okay. All right. Right on. So it's covered up right now. I can't quite see where she's located. Somewhere in Washington State, it looks like.
Yeah.
Do you know, Elijah? I can't move Peter out of the way, would you, so I can see the.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like. Okay. Sorry.
Hold on.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, someone else went there.
Oh, Kerry. Oh.
It really doesn't work like that. This is
okay. Vancouver, Washington. Okay, got you. Thank you. All right, so now that helps me, right? Because now I know where she is, right? So she's down there by Portland, and not anywhere near me, because it's the freeway between here and Vancouver, Washington is just abysmal. Do not drive from Bellingham, Washington to Vancouver, Washington, because it's just stupid. And it's you're better off just to call. All right. So Teresa, I want to say, gosh, welcome to Hotness Unleasher community. it's a pleasure to have you in here. Thanks, Leanne, for bringing her in and sharing that story. And Revenue Operators is not a Slack channel that I've ever heard of or know anything about. And is that something that I need to check out or otherwise be exposed to?
I would say, yeah, it's worth checking out. I would say that it's a very like it's a small community, so it's not, the next behemoth, and I don't think it's meant to be. And Juan does a really great job of personally meeting with people before they join the community. And so, that's one thing about it is that it's not just a free for all. So there's no spamming. It's very manicured.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's worth looking into. If you would like to be invited to it, just send me a DM and I'll send you the link.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Right on. I'll definitely check it out. Let me know what we need to do about that. Communities can get abused, can get sort of misused and misinterpreted in terms of like, oh, I got to come in here and I got to try to sell my stuff. And now it's really it's a listening channel. They're a lot of times just participating and sharing ideas and getting them fleshed out is important. And I wish that more sellers would take the time to actually do that instead of hustling for demos. All right. So with that, Leanne, thank you for bringing that into the midst of the Hotness Unleasher show. And again, Teresa, welcome here. I love this, the support that you're getting here also from Peter. That's fantastic. Sounds like you guys know each other as well. All right. So Elijah, we are up for our next Hotness Unleasher of the day.
You know that time when you accidentally said, love you, bye, at the end of the Zoom? Well, today Amanda's celebrating not doing that. Hotness! No, she zigs when others zag. She makes all these things happen, and best part about her is she recognizes that her best human qualities are relatable. It's just who we are. Amanda, the growth leader, she's clever, whimsical, and opinionated. You know what? She controls the cloud with a box, so go connect with her. Trevor, should I jump out of a cake for Peter's birthday, or should we all sing? What do you think?
I like the cake idea. All right. But alas, this is Peter's show right now. So Peter's
show. This is always your show, buddy, and I guess this is Elijah's show now as well. So there we go.
Just a bit of my show.
We're gonna skip the cake thing. I'll put up a different cake post.
Okay.
No, Amanda is great. I've been on LinkedIn, God, I think 17 years now, 2007, and never really made use of the platform until I don't know the past 6 years or so. And I don't buy things from social media ads, but she's got something called Thought Leader Labs, THOT, that just cracks me up, especially along the lines of vibes being a KPI or key performance indicator. And I actually bought something online on LinkedIn. I've never spent money from anything on LinkedIn, no outreach. So, and that stay out of my DMs, people, even if it's birthday wishes, because I'm not buying anything on LinkedIn. But yeah, she thrives in being weird, and I do too. And I get it, and I love it. She's not afraid of LinkedIn lunatics, embraces it. It's just absolutely a phenomenal profile to follow, an amazing human being to interact with, especially who understands partnerships, which can be one of the hardest parts of any go-to-market strategy. How do you make everybody happy? How do you make everything make sense? So there we go. Very Amanda Nielsen is definitely my Hotness Unleasher.
Awesome, man. So Thought Leader Labs. All right. So I'm going to have to check that out. THOT, right? You said?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So I didn't know Amanda. I've not crossed paths with Amanda. So I'm going to have to go out and figure out what this is all about. That vote in her, in her favor is like all that stuff you said really resonates, with me. So yeah, so Thought Leader Labs, I'll definitely check that out. And as far as LinkedIn lunatics, in our midst right now, we actually have a moderator of that sub. So
don't dox the dude.
So
or do that.
It's Peter. Good for you, Peter.
Yeah. So, I had my own little brush with LinkedIn lunatics that was actually completely fake. It was so we were able to see to it that went away. And because there's one thing when it's real, but there's another thing when it's completely fake. that was a little bit, a little bit off. So anyway, thanks for highlighting that as well. So moving on from that, because we are just about here at the end. I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to miss Kerry's Hotness Unleasher of the day. So Amanda, you are welcome into the Hotness Unleasher community. Thanks you so much for Peter for bringing her here today. All right, Elijah, we're at our last one of the day.
All right, dudes, time to step aside because Elizabeth is here making giant waves in the IPO space. You feel me? Hotness! She champions underdogs, advised over 115 brands, shaped a $2.3 billion brand and specializes in driving up to 100 million ARR with pre-IPO companies. All right! 15 years of experience has earned her awards and partnerships with brands like Whole Foods, Target, and Walmart. Kerry, so what else do you want to share about this hot connection?
I mean, data's all well and good, and she certainly has the accolades there. But what I really love about Elizabeth is she's just a wonderful human. She's a new mom in the last year, and I got to hang out with her and connect about being moms, which is just a new world order these days of running a business while also taking care of a baby, keeping them alive. It's a tough job, and she's doing it beautifully. On top of the fact that she's just a wonderful connector. So when you meet a really great person and then they have a network of really great people and you get to meet those people, she has really brought some wonderful humans to my show, Zachary Walker being one of those folks. And I just really appreciate her and her ability to see people and see how they might fit together and see how they can all build together. And I just love that about her.
Wow. Okay. So that's really fantastic. So thank you so much, Kerry, for bringing Elizabeth in. Elizabeth, welcome to the Hotness Unleasher community. I'm so sorry that we are like literally over the hour. And one of the things that as a live streamer, I believe firmly in is adhering to our time commitments. And so with that, again, Kerry, thanks so much for bringing her in. And I wish that we had a little bit more. I had managed my time. So that's on me for not giving Elizabeth as much let's talk about her some more. So we'll get to that. So alas, I will reach out to Elizabeth as well. So here we are at the end. So I want to say thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you for being open to working on finding a time that was workable for all of us here. That anybody who is in Europe, hopefully maybe you got a little exposure to the Hotness Unleasher show because we're actually live in your zone right now. Want to also say that the next show will be at our regular appointed hour of Tuesday at 5:45 p.m. Pacific. That'll be on the 19th. And I want us to again look forward to that with Mark Bliss leading his crew of Merry Travelers, and more to come on that. And look at this, Peter, at the last moment here, we got some time. So we're going to build that into our next show. All right, sir. So I'll reach out to you on coordinating that. And again, to all of the audience who came out today, Garth, thanks for dropping in here at the last second with a comment. Roman, as well as, let's see here else we got. So Teresa was here. Actually, thanks you so much for coming out, Teresa. It's a little early here for you, as well as for me. And everybody else, particularly Jamie, and I'll be reaching out to you to be a guest on the show because you were selected. So with that, I want to say thanks again, everybody, for coming out today. Have a great Veterans Day, or whatever kind of day that is yours to choose, because let's just make a day of it. All right, everybody, thanks so much for coming out, and that is our show for today. Bye.
You can have a nap. Toodles.
Bye.
Flight control, countdown confirmed.
So much fun. The Hotness Unleasher Show, Season 3, Episode 8. You got to do some real work, I guess, or maybe have a nap. This is all I had planned today. What am I going to do? We're looking for more sponsors to do some giveaways and cool stuff coming up in future episodes. We're going to finish off with a few more in 2024 and then 2025. Off the chain.
Auto sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.